My name is Michelle. Welcome back to my classroom. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. In this video, I'm going to share with you how I created my curriculum for my independent students. I do apologize for the headphones. I typically don't like to record with headphones, but there's a lot of construction work going on outside of my windows, so here we are. Before I get into how I created my curriculum, if you are new to my channel, welcome. On this channel, you will find live class recordings where I share with you the different techniques I use when I teach English online. You will also find transparent videos of my earnings, just to give you an idea of how much money can be made in this industry. You will also find demo lesson videos for all of the companies that I successfully signed contracts with, just to give you an idea of how to best prepare for your demo lesson videos. And you will also find videos for teaching tips. So if those are things that would interest you, I do ask that you would consider subscribing to my channel. If you are a return viewer, thank you so much for joining me. So as I said, I'm going to share with you how I created my curriculum for my independent student. Before we get into the creation of this curriculum, I'm going to share with you my actual curriculum just to give you an idea of how it turned out, what it looks like, and some of the topics we worked on. So I'm going to share my screen with you so we can take a look at this curriculum together. So here we have a greeting slide. Again, this was a beginning level learner. More greeting and building rapport. What's your name? How are you? And we had a fun little song we would sing every morning as a warmer. Hello, teacher. Hello, friends. Hello, how are you? Hello, teacher. Hello, friends. Hello, how are you? So again, we would sing this song every morning before the start of our lesson. So we started with the alphabets. And here you will see we have pictures for all of the letters of the alphabets, as well as words to identify those pictures. And I did that for all of the letters of the alphabet, as you can see here. So after alphabets, we transition to phonic sounds. I will show you how you can change the color of your slide. You can change the font of your text to make it look a little more kid-friendly. How you can add these captions and different characters and images. So these are the different phonic sounds that we worked on. Again, I will show you how you can add a text box to your slide, as well as add text to your text box. So our phonics section was quite long. We transitioned to vowels. Again, I'll show you how you can change the color of your slide, as well as change the font of your text and make it look a little more kid-friendly and engaging for your beginning level learners. Again, we have another song. This is another song we sang. This was an introduction to vowels. There are 5 letters that have 2 sounds. I know them all by name. A, E, I, O, U, A, E, I, O, U, A, E, I, O, U. I know them all by name. So again, as I said in my previous video, we did a lot of singing in our classes. So here we have different pictures and words for those pictures, identifying the long A and the short A sounds. Long E and short E, long I and short I, long O and short O, long U and short U. And again, we have another slide. I'll show you how you can have your different images fly in on the screen, just to make it look a little more fun and engaging for your beginning level learners. So our vowels section was quite long, so we're going to move a little further down and I'll show you what else we worked on in our lesson. So here, this is a listen and say slide. I was introducing the word and how we use the word and when we're using words that begin with vowels. Again, I'll show you how you can have your characters fly in on the screen, just to make it look a little more fun and engaging for your students. So again, introducing the word and when we have words that begin with the letters, the different vowels. I like to eat an apple. I like to eat an egg. I like to eat an ice cream. I like to eat an orange. And again, we had a fun little song to introduce that topic as well. So I'm going to move a little further. I have the teacher slide. It's a little game slide I created just to assess my student to see how much she was able to retain, to see how much she was able to comprehend from what we've learned so far. So to play this, to play this game, we would do a circle the 5 vowels game. And to play this game, all of the letters of the alphabet would appear like so. So I would ask my student, what are the 5 vowels? What do I circle? And she said A. So A would appear circle. She said E. E would appear circle. I, O, and U. So again, I'll show you how you can create a fun little game like this for your students as well. So now we're going to get into the creation of this curriculum. So to create your curriculum, the first thing you want to do is to set up a Google account. So here is my Google account. On the left side of your screen, you will see the word Drive at the very top, and then you'll see this menu listing. You want to click on the word New. And as I said, I created my curriculum using Google Slides. So we're going to scroll down and click on Google Slides. And you should see something that appears on your screen that looks like this. Click to add title. So on the far right, you'll see additional slides. These are theme slides. If you scroll through these slides, there are a number of different options. If you want to eliminate the guesswork of choosing what colors you want for your curriculum, you can simply choose one of these theme slides. So we're not going to use these theme slides, so I'm going to close this window for now. So the first thing you want to do is to change the background of your slide. We're going to start by changing the background first. So you need to actually click on the background of your slide. Anywhere around these text box is your background. So I'm going to click on the background, and these words will appear. You will know if you're not inside the background if I click on the text box. As you can see, those words disappear. So make sure you're clicking on the actual background. So once we click on the background, we're going to click the word background and another window will open. You will see background, color, image, reset theme, add to theme. So we're going to go to the right of the word color where this little arrow is. We're going to click the arrow and we get a wide selection of colors. So these are the colors you choose to choose the color of your slide. So I'm going to choose this pretty blue. As you can see, the slide does change color. Here where it says image, you can choose an image. If you desire to add an image to your slide, you can upload an image in these different ways. There are a number of different ways for you to upload an image. We're not going to use this feature, so we're going to close this for now. Where it says reset theme, if you decide this blue color is not the color you want for your slide, you can reset the slide to the original white color. As you can see, the slide has gone back to the white color. And you can go back and choose the color you actually want for your slide. So we're going to choose this pretty green color. As you can see, the slide has changed color, so we're going to click done. So now that we have the color of our slide, we're going to add text to our slide. So you're just going to click inside this text box and begin typing whatever it is you want to type on your very first slide. I'm just going to type the word hello. And I'm not going to use the second text box, so I'm just going to click inside the box and click delete on my keypad. And the text box is no longer there. So the first thing I want to do is to change the font of my text to make it look a little more kid-friendly. So again, I'm going to click on the word hello. I'm going to highlight it with my mouse. And I'm going to go here at the top of the screen where it says Arial. If we click on this drop-down menu, we have a listing of different fonts we can choose. I choose Comic Sans MS because it is a little more kid-friendly. So if you want to make your text larger or smaller, you can use these options here. This plus sign makes it larger, and the minus sign makes it smaller. Or you can click on the actual numbers, and you'll see this drop-down listing of numbers. You can choose the number you wish to have your text that size. So now that we have the text size that we want, we can resize our text box by simply grabbing a hold of the sides with our mouse to resize our text box. and we want to center it in the middle of our slide. So to do that, we simply gauge what's the center, and once this red line appears, we know that our text is centered. You can also, to check to see if your text is centered, again, you can click inside the word hello, highlight with your mouse. If you go to the top of your slide where these lines are, if you hover over those lines, it says align. If you click on this arrow, you can hover over the lines where it says center. This one says center, and that will also center your text. So now that we have the text that we want on our first slide, we want to add a friendly image to our slide. So to do that, we're going to click on the word insert. As you see, there's a drop-down menu appear. We're going to click on image, and another drop-down menu appears to the right. So there are a number of options you can choose to insert an image to your slide. We're going to click on search the web. So once you click on search the web, another window appears. You should see the word Google, and you should have a search bar that appears at the top where it says search for images. So we're just going to type the word hello in our search bar to see if we can find a friendly hello image. As you can see, there are a number of images. So we're just going to choose a nice friendly image for our first slide. So I'm going to choose this character here. You simply click on the one you want. It will tell you how many images you selected. I only selected one. So we're going to click insert, and the image should appear on my slide like so. So again, you can grab the sides with your mouse to resize to fit the slide as you'd like for it to fit. So we're going to move the word hello just a bit to the right. And we're going to move our image a little further over to the center. And now we have our very first slide. So to do an additional slide, we're going to go to the top of our slide, and then there's a plus sign on the far left of your slide. We're going to click that plus sign. And here we have our second slide. So again, we're going to start by changing the color of our slide by clicking again on the background. Click on the word background. This window should appear. Again, click on the drop down arrow. And we're going to choose the same color we have for our previous slide. And we're going to click done. So on this particular slide, I'm going to show you how you can add images to your slide and have those images fly in on the screen to make it look a little more engaging and fun for your beginning level learners. So we're just going to type the words listen and say. So again, we're going to center these words. Again, you can click where these arrows are, where these lines are, hover over the one that says center, click it, and my words are centered. I also want to change the size of my text. Again, I can click on the plus sign or the minus sign or click on the actual numbers and choose the size that I want my lettering to be. So that is perfect. So now I want to add images to identify what listen and say actually looks like. So to do that, I'm going to, again, go to the top of my slide and click on Insert, Image, and search the web. So again, in my search bar, I'm simply going to type the word listen. And I'm going to choose this image for my slide. So again, once you choose your image, it should tell you how many images you selected. Click Insert, and your image should appear on your slide like so. So again, resize your image to fit your slide. You can keep your text box, or if you don't want your text box, again, you can just click on your text box and click Delete on your keypad to remove the text box. So now we have a picture to identify the word listen. And now we want a picture to identify the word say. So again, we're going to click on the word insert at the top of our slide. Image, search the web. In our search bar, we're going to type the word speak. to see if we can find a friendly image. Sometimes you have to change the wording because you don't always find what you're looking for. So I'm just going to type the word say and the word animation. This sometimes works for me as well, so that I can get something a little more kid friendly. I think this one is perfect. So again, once you click on the image, it'll tell you how many images you selected, and you click insert. So now we have an image to identify the word say. So if you want to underline this to separate your text from your images, you can do so, or you can highlight your text box. To do that, you're simply going to click where these 3 lines are. If you hover over it, it says border weight. You're going to click that, and you'll get a drop-down listing of different pixel sizes. So we're going to click 3 pixels, and that separates our image from our text. To have our images fly in on the slide, we're going to click on the image. Then we're going to go to the top of our slide and click on the word insert. We're going to scroll down to the word animation, and another window should open on the right side of your slide. So as you can see, it shows you what's being animated. So we're going to click on the drop-down menu where it says fade in, and you'll get a listing of different ways your image can appear on your slide. So we're going to have this ear fly in from the left. So we're going to click fly in from the left, and it's going to appear on a click. We're going to do the same thing for this image. Again, click on the image, click add animation. As you can see, it shows you what's being animated. So again, click on your drop down menu and make your selection. We're going to have this image fly in from the right. So after you've made your selections, you can play it to see exactly what it looks like. So I'm going to play it. I'm going to click. It should fly in from the left on a click, and fly in from the right on a click. So that is what I want. So we're going to stop and move on to our 3rd slide. So we no longer need this window open, so we're going to close this for now. Again, for our 3rd slide, again, we go to the top left of our slide, click on the plus sign, and we're ready for our 3rd slide. So again, first thing we want to do is change the color of our background. So I'm going to click on the word background. This window should appear. Again, click on the drop-down menu, make your color selection, and click done. So now we're ready to create our 3rd slide. So this will be our phonics slide. We're going to work on the letters OG. So to do that, you simply click in the text box, type the letters that you want to work on. We're going to work on OG. So I simply type the word O, add some space, add a G, add some space, and type OG. In our text box, we type the letters that we want. We're going to type F, enter, F space, O, enter, F space, O, and G. And then we're going to type the actual word, fog. So now that we have the letters that we're working with, we're going to resize the letters. Again, you want to highlight the letters with your mouse. Again, you can choose the plus sign or the actual drop-down listing. We're going to choose the drop-down listing. Again, click on the letters. We want these letters to be bold. Again, we highlight and we click on this B. If you hover over it, it says bold. Click that. And we want to change the color to black. So we go to this A where it says text color. It gives us a large selection of colors, and we're going to choose black. And we're going to make the letters just a little bit larger. So now that I have my letters the size that I like for them to be, I'm going to change the size of these letters as well. So again, click inside the text box, highlight your letters, choose from the drop-down menu, You may have to resize your text box if your letters go outside of the text box. You have to make adjustments accordingly. So now we're going to actually change the color of our text and make it bold as well. Again, we hover over the B where it says bold. We hover over this A with the line. We click on that and we choose the color that we want for our text. So the word fog is hanging off the slide just a bit. So we're going to adjust our text box. So to add some separation in these letters and the letters here, we're going to thicken the border of our text box. So to do that, we're going to make sure that our text box is highlighted first, like so. We're going to go to the top of our slide and hover over these lines where it says border weight. Click on it. You should get a drop-down listing of pixels. And we're going to choose the size that we want. I think 4 is perfect. And we're going to do the same for the top text box. Again, hover over these 3 lines, click on it and choose the pixel size that you want. So I actually like to add arrows so that my student can know which direction we're working in. So to add an arrow to this portion of my slide, I simply go here. If you hover over this, it says select line. You click on the drop down arrow and you'll get this listing of different lines you can choose from. I click on arrow. So once you click on arrow, this symbol should appear and you use this symbol to simply draw your arrow. So we have our first arrow. So we also want to add an arrow here as well. Again, hover over this, click on the drop down arrow, click arrow. This symbol should appear and you can draw your arrow. So now my student has an idea of what direction we're working in. So these arrows are quite faint, so we want to bold these arrows. We want to thicken them up. So we're going to click on the arrow. Again, we're going to hover over this where it says line weight. And we're going to choose a pixel size. We're going to choose 4 pixels again, and do the same for this arrow as well. Again, hover over where it says line weight, choose your pixel size. So now we have our phonics slide. So to create our 4th slide, again, we're going to go to the far left side of our slide, click on the plus sign, and we're ready to create our 4th slide. Again, we're going to start by changing the color of our background. So we're going to click the word background. Again, this window appears. We click on the drop down arrow and we choose the same color for our previous slides and click done. So for this particular slide, we don't need this second text box. So we're simply going to click on the text box and click delete on our keypad. So in our click to add title, we're going to click inside our text box and add our title to our slide. So this game is called Circle the 5 Vowels. So again, we want to highlight our text and change the size of our lettering. Again, you can click on the plus sign or click the drop down listing of numbers to change the size of your text. You may have to adjust your text box accordingly. Again, you want to center your text so you can highlight the text. Again, go to the top of your slide and hover over these lines where it says align. Click the drop down arrow, hover over the one that says center, and your text is now centered. We also want to highlight our text box. We don't want our text to stand alone. You can either underline it or highlight the text box. I'm going to highlight the text box. So again, I click on the title. And to highlight my text box, I'm going to hover over these lines where it says border weight. I have this drop down listing of pixels again. So I'm just going to highlight the text box just a little. So I'm going to click 2 pixels and that's perfect. So now we're ready to create our game called Circle the 5 Vowels. So I'm not going to add all of the letters of the alphabet, but for this particular slide, I'm just going to add a few letters. So we're going to go to the top of our slide and click this T. So for this particular game, you have to add letters individually. So I'm going to use this text box to type the letter A. I'm going to get another text box and I'm going to type the letter T. So now that we have our letters on our slide, we want to change the font of our lettering. So again, you want to highlight your letter with your mouse and change the font of your letter. So that is a perfect size. We're going to add just a little more height to our letter. So you want to make all of your letters the same size. So I'm just going to do the same thing for my T. Again, highlight with my mouse and change the letter font size. So now that we have our letters resized, we want to animate our A and our O. So before we do that, we want to add a shape to our slide. So we're going to click on Insert at the top of our slide. We're going to scroll down to the word Shape, scroll over to the word Shape again, and you have a number of different shapes you can choose from. I'm going to choose this circle. And this symbol should appear, which allows you to draw a circle on your slide. So we're going to do that again for our O. Again, click on the word Insert, scroll down to the word Shape, scroll over to the word Shape again, and choose the shape you wish to choose. This symbol should appear, and you can then draw your circle. So now we have to add an A and an O to each of our circles. So again, we're going to go to the top of our slide. We're going to click on the text box. And we're going to draw a text box over our circle. And inside of this text box, I'm going to type another A. So I'm going to highlight this A to make it the same size as my original A. So again, I go to my numbers, click inside the number and choose the sides. So you want to align your text box so that your letter is centered inside your circle. So we're going to do the same thing for our O. So now that we have our letters, we're going to group our A and our circle because we don't want our A to appear on the slide and then our circle come in after. So we want to group our circle and our A. So to do that, you want to highlight your circle and your A with your mouse. Make sure you're not choosing everything, just your circle and your A. So you may have to move some things around just to ensure you're only highlighting your circle and your A. So again, you want to highlight it with your mouse. Again, you can see everything is being joined together here. So we're going to move our A a little further down because we just want to highlight our circle and our A like so. So once you see that this appears, both the A and the circle is highlighted, you want to right click. And you'll have this listing appear. You want to scroll down to the word group. And this will group your A and your circle together. As you can see, the text box no longer appears. It's only a box around your circle. So you want to do the same thing for your O. So now we're ready to animate our A and our O. So the next thing we have to do is to click on our A and our circle. And we're going to place it over our original A, like so. And we're going to do the same thing with our O. So now we're going to animate our O and our A. So we're going to click on our A. We're going to go to the top of our slide and click on the word Insert. We're going to scroll down to the word Animation. This window should appear on your right. If you look at the words Object Animation, underneath it will show you what's being animated. So we know that our A is going to be animated. So if we look at Fade In, there's an arrow on the right. Click on that arrow and it will give you a selection you can choose from to have your image appear on the slide. I'm going to click on Fly In from the left. and it's going to fly in on the next click. So I'm going to do the same thing for my O. Simply click on my O and click Add Animation. So again, it shows me what's being animated. I want my O to be animated. Again, I'm going to click on the drop down arrow, and I'm going to have my O fly in from the right on a click. So you have the option to play just so you can see what this actually looks like. So I'm going to click on the word play. So now you see we have our letters. We don't have our animations. So you ask your student, circle the 5 vowels. What are the 5 vowels? They say A, you click, and your A should appear circled. They say O, you click, and your O should appear circled. So we're going to present our slide. Before we do that, we're going to go over to the far left side of our slide, and we're going to click on slide number 1. And now we are ready to present our slide. So let's take a look at what our curriculum is looking like. We're going to go to the far right side of our slide and click the word present. And we're ready to present our curriculum. This is our first slide. We're going to click, listen, click, and say. Click again. We're ready for phonics. Click again. Circle the 5 vowels. What are the 5 vowels? A, click, O, click. And that is how I created my curriculum for my students. So that is how I created my curriculum for my independent students. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope that you found it to be helpful. If so, please give me a like, and I'll see you in my next video. Teach happy. Happy teaching.